Many countries in the world follow South Korea's remarkable example in addressing coronavirus pandemic. South Korea could flatten the epidemic curve quickly with small number of death and infection rate and without implementing such strict measures such as country's lockdown or closing businesses. There are three main aspects in South Korea's success against COVID-19. It's detection, containment, and treatment. And detection is the most crucial one for controlling this pandemic. Korean government closely collaborated with scientific community, private sector, and health institutions to manufacture COVID-19 detection kits quickly, and now these kits are supplied to the whole world. This is exactly what we are going to talk about in today's video, COVID-19 screening tests, and also other related products. There are three types of COVID-19 tests: PCR, Antigen, and Antibody. Let's find out what these kits are one by one. Let's start with RT-PCR. It is a real-time reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction test. PCR is a genetic molecular test. PCR detects genetic information of the virus, the RNA. PCR is very accurate, actually the most accurate diagnostic test available, with high sensitivity and specificity. PCR can tell you whether patient has COVID-19 right now, but not if he had it in the past. PCR kits are quite complicated and costly and can be done only in special laboratories. Not all healthcare facilities and not all countries are able to perform it. The sample for PCR test is collected by nasal or throat swab or sometimes saliva. PCR delivers result in 4 to 6 hours, but in some locations up to 1 week. The second method of diagnosing COVID-19 is antigen kits. Antigen is rapid diagnostic kit, which means it can deliver results in just 10 or 15 minutes, faster than PCR. It is quite new test, which detects certain proteins that are part of the virus. Sample is taken by nasal or throat swab. If antigen test shows positive result, usually it is highly accurate. However, if antigen test shows a negative result, indicating that you do not have an active coronavirus infection, your healthcare provider may order a molecular test, PCR, to confirm the result. It is all because antigen tests have a higher chance of missing an active infection, and it means antigen aren't as sensitive as molecular kits are. Antigen kits can deliver results at point of care quickly. They are less expensive than PCR and do not require expensive equipment and extensive training to perform. The third method of screening COVID-19 is antibody kits. Antibody testing, also known as serology testing, is usually performed after full recovery from COVID-19 because antibodies are usually detectable 14 days after the onset of infection. This test basically determines whether you have developed antibodies against the virus. The immune system produces these antibodies, also known as immunoglobulins, proteins that are critical for fighting and clearing out the virus. If test results show that you have antibodies, it indicates that you were likely infected with COVID-19 at some time in the past. But what antibody test cannot do is diagnosing active coronavirus infection at the time of the test or showing that you do not have COVID-19. However, antibody tests still have a role complementing the existing standard PCR test for diagnosis. They can assist in identifying individuals who are asymptomatic but are nevertheless infected with COVID-19. Antibody tests are also important in epidemiological investigations to describe the extent or prevalence of the infection. Antibody test is performed by collecting a blood sample from finger or vein in the arm. South Korean companies can manufacture all three types of COVID-19 detection kits, and currently they are supplying it to many countries. Sensitivity and specificity of Korean kits are very high with less errors and quality problems. That is why these kits were validated by health authorities of major countries. We Innopath have a good network of trusted and quality COVID-19 manufacturers, suppliers, and we are also exporting them overseas. So if your country needs these kits and you are looking for some supply routes, please contact us. Apart from diagnostic kits, we also have other COVID-19 related products. For example, hand sanitizers in gel and spray form. We have them in different packing sizes. We also have COVID-19 screening test for dogs. And another good product is probiotic supplement for boosting antiviral immunity at the early stage of infection. Also, continuous usage of face masks can cause skin troubles for many people, for example, redness, skin irritation, inflammation, and acne. For them, we have a special skincare products with that concept. Thank you so much for watching, and we will be looking forward to your inquiries through email you can see on your screen. Bye! See you next time!